Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. How are you doing, everyone? Over here, I'm
Woo-hoo.
actually in Greece, Mykonos. You see that? Look at that nice
That,
infinity pool behind me.
that's beautiful. I'm still in San Francisco Bay Area.
I'm in the nice hot weather. You look like you got like some fog and clouds coming in there.
Well, up where I live, it's kind of overcasty. Every day we get a little bit of sun and then the sun goes away and the wind picks up, which I'm grateful for because I don't like heat. And then we get the fog rolling in.
Oh no. Okay. Well, hi everyone. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us this week. And before we get started, you know what I'm going to say. If you love our chats, the only way to know is for you to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe below, or how about hitting that bell notification so you don't miss any of our chats. Ding, ding, ding,
That's my
ding.
bell.
That's the bell. That's okay. All right. So as we are chatting over tea, what am I drinking today? My tea is an oldie but a goodie. I always come back to this one because I love it. It has my favorite ingredients: organic ginger turmeric. There it is. Can you see it? Don't think
Yeah.
you can see it.
Yes.
Oh,
Sort of
there
kind of.
you go. Looks weird.
Yeah,
And
sort
it
of kind
is
of.
from Whole Foods, herbal tea, caffeine free, this one. And the ingredients are ginger, turmeric, licorice, orange peel, orange oil, and black pepper. So I love this one, and it's a goodie but an oldie. Have it seeping. There you go. Cheers, everyone. Cheers,
Cheers.
Gloria.
Cheers.
Cheers. And now Gloria is going to tell you what she's drinking for her tea.
I am also doing an oldie but a goodie. I love blueberries, and blueberry season is really popping right now. And I keep going back to this particular one because it's blueberry and aloe herbal tea. And it says, "Isn't it nice to know radiant beauty every day?" And as a beauty person, let me see if I can get it so you can see it.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
There you go. It says Radiant
There we
Beauty. That's
go.
perfect.
Yes,
For a makeup
it's all
lady, perfect.
I I love it. It is aloe vera, acelera, rosehip, and elderberries, of course, and blueberries. I love, love, love this tea. So, also, I was feeling a little sad that the cruising industry are canceling cruises right and left. I think in the
Wow.
November timeframe, they think they'll have it back. So this reminded me when I was in Catalina. So, cheers.
Cheers.
So
Yummy.
we always like to kick our little talks off thinking of and being reminded and inspired by Ellen. Ellen says, always be kind to one another. And now during the times of COVID-19 and the unrest, she has started to remind us to listen to each other because that's important. So one of the things that Rosetta and I were talking about is talking and not seeing. How would you engage with someone you cannot see, the unknown? There are lots of virtual reality shows now where people are building relationships based on separation. So, how do you think you would engage, Rosetta, with someone that you could not see?
I would love it actually, because for the main reason that when you're engaging with someone you can't see, you're concentrating on the actual subject you're talking about. You're not fixated or looking at their image or their reaction. And I love that. And as you say, a lot of virtual shows, reality shows, are now basing that whole premise around just listening and not seeing. And if all of you know, there was that one show called Love is Blind, and they couldn't see each other, and they were just separated by a wall in between the two rooms. And I think that is perfect. I'm like, why can't every dating service be that way? Because the thing that gets into people's heads when they're dating is they're so fixated about image and looks then they're not
Yes.
really going deeper than the surface. They need to go
Yes.
much, much deeper, deep down, and really listen and understand how that person is, their personality, the way that they talk, the things that they're what they love, their likes, their dislikes, instead of, because and everybody's done this, you look at someone, you immediately judge. I don't have that chemistry within the first 5 seconds. So I like that.
Yes.
Talk, but
Yes.
don't see them. And again, there's another perfect person to talk about is Cody Lee from America's Got Talent. He is an amazing
Yes.
singer and piano player. And we did mention this in one of our chats before, that when you close your eyes, everybody close your eyes, and what you're trying to portray to other people and sing to other people, you have that real connection instead of seeing what the audience is saying or their reactions. So it becomes more meaningful.
Yes.
But what about you,
Yes.
Gloria? What do you think?
Well, I love it because sometimes I think when I was a teenager and I had my first or second little boyfriend, we would get on the phone and we could talk for hours and hours. And sometimes it would, because we were kids, it was just, he's my boyfriend, he's my girlfriend, nothing heavy duty. We could just find all kinds of things to talk about because it wasn't about the physical, it was about the mental, it was about the conversation, it was about the in-depth of getting to know this person inside and out, knowing this person so well that I could talk to him for 3 hours. I can't imagine people today who are so fast, gotta hurry, could take 3 hours out of their day to talk to an individual and to dedicate their attention to that person, not texting while you're talking, not multitasking, doing things, because we didn't have that, just talking and getting to know the person. And for me, those are some of the most wonderful memories. And, like accidentally falling asleep, talking on the phone, and you fall asleep, and you wake up and you're laughing because you're like, oh my God, I fell asleep. And you're trying to tell the person it wasn't because you're not boring. I was just tired. Just the really, really cute thing. So I agree. I think it would be interesting to see what would happen if some of these dating services could figure out how to connect the people before the visual and life gets in the way.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that. And you're right. I do remember the days with no cell phones and we would talk on the phone for 3 hours straight. Those were the days.
Yeah. And this also ties into the conversation we had last week. When did it become the norm for young girls and young women to have to, bare their bodies in order to get a job, to be a musician, to be, and I mean a selling musician, and to be a star? I can't think of her name now. She just won for Best New Artist. She had like green hair and she had Gucci nails.
Oh, Billie Eilish.
Billie, yes. Now, if you notice, she wears the biggest, baggiest clothing. And some of that is because she's like, I don't want them seeing all that. She is one of the first young ladies that I have seen that is shadowing her body versus all of the ones that we know and love that's like half naked. If women have to dress this way, I think it's only fair that men should start walking around in Speedos on stage. If they put a jacket on, leave it wide open. If a girl has to show, the guy should have to show. I'm just saying.
That's very true. Very true. Yeah. We don't understand why just, I guess, bearing the body sells. It really does. I mean, if you could look on social media, Instagram, people get more followers because of the posts that they post, half naked in a bikini top, showing their cleavage, showing their butt, their stomachs, whatever. It gets more likes over someone that's fully clothed and just smiling in the picture.
Absolutely.
I will
You
never understand that.
Steve Harvey. You said Steve Harvey had done something about this too?
Oh, yeah. So when Steve Harvey had his show, The Steve Harvey Show, he used to do segments where he would really talk to the women and men about dating. And one young, fine lady came on, and she was not attracting the right men. And her whole thing was to get analyzed. What is she posting on her profile pictures on Facebook or Instagram? And
Okay.
it was noticed that all her pictures were very, very scantily dressed, mini skirts, cleavage showing. So it leaves nothing to the man's imagination. And you're attracting the wrong kind of men. And she's
Yeah.
wondering over here, why is she not attracting the men that she really wants? Because what the men that she really wants is very different from the men that are actually following, liking, commenting on her posts. So
Yes.
what Steve Harvey told her was, you need to be dressing to attract the right men. So what kind of men do you want to attract? Wear
Yes.
the appropriate outfits, and you have to leave it up to the imagination of the men, because if you reveal
Yeah.
everything, they have nothing to imagine. You've shown
They don't have
everything.
to wonder.
Right. So you've shown everything. So why bother to pursue you anymore? Because they can see everything, and their intentions will be completely different when you just
Yes.
change your outfit. So for young women out there, if you want to attract the right men, if you're looking for
Yes.
a long-term relationship, dress the way that you would like the men to come, and the kind of style, the kind of men, the more be intentional. That's what he's trying to say with the way that you're
Yes.
dressing.
Yes.
So that's a good
Excellent.
tip that Steve Harvey gave when he was doing those shows.
Yeah, the Steve Harvey Show. Okay. Well, Rosetta and I were very, very excited because on, I think it was Saturday, there was an Instagram post from Wendy. It was
Wendy.
wonderful to see her. She had on this beautiful hot pink sort of negligee set. She was talking about, the perfect accessories for a date with your purse and what you should have. And the first thing she took out of her purse was a cell phone. She goes, make sure you have a phone and make sure it's fully charged. I thought that was just typical Wendy. It was nice to see her.
Yes. Are we going to show that little clip? We are, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to share that. It's not too long, which is great. So we'll show that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Where is Wendy? Okay. Technology for you. Here you go.
There. Beautiful she looks.
He's circling the block. I've got a date. He's not the one, but he's the one for interesting conversation, a long credit card, and he's fun. He's fun. So I'm going out. Do you like my pinkness?
My pinkness.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, my pinkness.
Bag. You don't carry a big bag when you go out on a date, do you? No. A date is not the time to carry a tote bag, girls. It's the time to carry anything that you need. Cell phone, fully charged. 96%. There you go. Your readers. Yes. Don't deny. He likes you because he already knows how old you are. A woman of my age, of course we wear readers. I'll put these on. Look, it adds to the sexy, right? What else? Oh, mirror.
That's a tiny mirror.
Just to make sure.
Very tiny.
The boss is still popping. But here's what I love the most about a small bag, date night, or any time of your life. FDS. This is FDS on the go. What I love about this, first of all, my gynecologist totally approves of this. Do you remember FDS from years ago?
FDS?
And it down there.
Oh, God.
It's a cleansing spray.
So when he's not looking.
Does it smell of anything?
I'll give him a little.
Yes, it sometimes it has like a baby powder scent, or it's like own your freshness. It's a little way for things.
I've got a date.
Yeah, it started over.
One, But he's
So it was just nice to see her.
Yeah. So there you go. That was Wendy. Her handbag was cute, though, must say.
Yes. And I love how she said, don't go out with no big old tote. Because, you know, sometimes you'll go out and you think, don't you have a smaller purse than that at home? It's like a suitcase. And they're like, I'm out for my date.
Well, when you're going on a date, back in the days, I was in like dating in the 80s, 90s. We used to carry small bags. Now people want to carry these massive bags. People, what are you carrying in those bags? You're going on a date. You're not going on a trip.
And I would also think, you know, like back in the day, one of the reasons we carried a small bag is, you know, I'm not spending the night with you. I don't need a duffel bag. You know, we're just going to go have dinner.
But we didn't have phones, these chunky big cell phones we have nowadays. So we could carry a small bag that fitted just our wallet, our keys, some money.
Yes, I completely agree. I agree. So there's little bits and pieces of controversy related to if COVID is still at the high volume of cases as it is today. A lot of states are looking at ways for people to still cast our vote in November. And the current president has been, you know, doing some things to sort of give the illusion that the Postal Service is like a dead resource and we can't trust it, and mail-in ballots are, you know, they're suspect, etc. Even though I think it's interesting that he uses mail-in ballots and all he had to do is walk across the street and cast his vote. And he used a mail-in ballot. So I think it's one of those situations of do as I say, not as I do. However, Vice President Biden has come out and he has said that if there is any tampering with the mail-in votes, there will be consequences. And he will make sure that anyone that's caught doing that will be prosecuted. And I think that's awesome because we're trying to figure out workarounds so that we can all safely vote. And then to have someone purposely, you know, prevent us from casting our vote, I think that is just un-American.
And he said it, and he's blanketly stated that and made it very, very clear that none of that will happen this time around.
Yes, so I'm happy to hear that. So that was good to know. So since we're kind of talking about it, let's go into COVID-19 update. So I don't know if you all are aware, this morning, President 45 did a briefing, and in the briefing, he said the virus is going to get far worse before it gets better. He said it didn't make him happy saying that. However, it's the truth. And he told people to wear a mask. I thought it was very interesting during the announcement, though, the doctors weren't around him. It was just him and the press person. So I was like, where's everybody? However, you know, I think that's one of the reasons all of our numbers are going up is the mismessage. And it has to start at the top. So if he wants people to get well, to be able to sustain their health against the virus, then we all have to work together as a united team to do that.
Yes, and he should have done that way back in March. He should have made people wear masks way back in March, and he should have worn it to show us that this is, I'm a leader and I need to talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yes. And I don't understand, you know, you and I've had many conversations. It's wearing a mask. I do not understand the thought process a person has that I know personally, okay, you can say to yourself, I don't believe it. I don't think I can get it. However, how can you live with the idea that you could get it, be asymptomatic, give it to someone, and they could die? Now, there are parents. We've already talked about the adults, the young adults that are partying and doing the COVID parties and all of that. Now, some way out in the world, parents are being led to believe if they can put their children in an environment where they can get it, they will get over it. So they're doing these like play dates, but it's with children to see if they can, you know, bring the social aspects of life back in. However, if a child gets this and goes and gives it to grandma and grandma dies, you have ruined that child's life because they will never forgive themselves.
Well, I
And
don't
it's
think they understand. They don't understand that this is not just the child, it's multi-generational. Once a
Yes.
child gets it, we don't know who they're going to infect. They can
Yes.
infect you as the parent, and then you get very sick. How do you know? You're risking, it's a 50-50 chance, right?
Yeah.
That you'll
Yes.
get it or you won't get it, or you'll get it and you'll recover, or you'll get it and you'll be scarred for life. Now, these things
Yeah.
are not, and it's not like a light thing to take really, you know, like just think it's something very, very not serious, because it really is. And I can't even think of the word, but don't take it lightheartedly, because I did not know how serious this was until I got a post. And I'm going to read this real quick, because this is a post
Yes.
I got and I had to repost from a friend of mine. And, you know,
And I really want you all to just slow down a minute and listen to what Rosetta is going to share with you. This is very, very, very impactful, people. This is not a joke.
yes. So this was a post from a friend of mine, Roger Hooks. He's been on our chat once. And he posted, he got this from a neighbor that's a nurse. And these are her words. Says, "This is so sad but true. Wear the mask, please. For people who don't understand what it means to be on a ventilator, but want to take the chance to go back to work, for starters, it is not an oxygen mask that is put over the mouth while the patient comfortably lies down and reads journals. Ventilation for COVID-19 is a painful intubation that goes down your throat and stays there until you live or die. It is done during anesthesia for 2 to 3 weeks without moving, often upside down, and with a tube deposited from your mouth up to the air pipe, and allows you to breathe to the rhythm of the lung machine. Patients can't talk or eat or do anything natural. The machine keeps you alive. Discomfort and pain they feel from this means that medical experts must administer sedatives and pain meds to ensure pipe tolerance as long as the machine is needed. It's like being in an artificial coma. After 20 days from this treatment, a young patient loses 40% muscle mass and gets trauma in the mouth or voice cords, as well as possible lung or heart complications. It is for this reason that old or already weak people can't stand treatment and die. Many of us are in this boat, so stay safe if you don't want to take the chance to end up here. This is not the flu. They put a tube in your stomach, either through your nose or skin, for liquid food, a sticky bag around your butt to collect diarrhea, one to collect urine, an IV for liquids and meds, an A line to monitor your BP. It is completely dependent on finely calculated, with doses, teams of nurses, CRNA and MA to move your limbs every 2 hours and lie on a carpet circulating ice-cold liquid to help reduce your 104-degree temperature. All this while your loved ones cannot even come to visit. You will be alone in a room with your machine, or your mother will, or your father, or your son or daughter, or wife or husband. But we think wearing a mask is uncomfortable and humiliating. And that's what he says. And then there's a picture of a collage of people that have been on ventilator and intubation, and it's pretty darn serious. It does not look good. They look like adult babies with big diapers. That's what they look like. Very, very sad.
Very sad. And, you know, for myself personally, I think the doctors, the nurses, the orderlies, the the people who clean the hospital. How can you be a conscious human being and all you have to do is wear a mask? I don't like wearing a mask. I mean, some days I wear the mask and I'm okay. And then other days, I don't know if I get like excited or if I get too warm. I mean, it's difficult to breathe. However, it's okay because I would prefer to be in a little discomfort than to have someone have to have the experience that Rosetta just shared with us. So please stop being selfish. This is not about your right. You have many, many rights. This is about life and death. Do you realize, people, that we're not allowed in some countries because we are perceived to be ignorant?
Yes, you're right. You're right. And when you say you're right, it is not your right to put other people in danger or put them in harm's way of being in danger. It is your right. Yes, you do have freedoms, but this is not about being free. It's about how are you keeping other people safe? Is that your right to infect other people and not knowingly infect them? So you decide.
Yes. I know here in California, we had some amazing numbers. We were under 5%. We were between 4.5 and 4.7. And then 2 incidents occurred. We had a holiday, and in Southern California, people lost their minds. They went out to the beaches. They were socializing. Forget that distance stuff. Mea culpa, mea culpa. And their numbers started going up. We have people in the Southern California areas where they put their lives at risk to pick the farms, to get the foods that we eat. And let me tell you, it's hard to wear a mask and the hot sun trying to pick and do things. So they are putting their life on the line for us. And then we have a prison here up in Northern California, San Quentin, where they took inmates from another prison that had COVID-19 and intermixed them with the people of San Quentin. And the last time I heard, it was approaching 1,100 people. I'm sure it's even higher now. So in the middle, we feel like we're doing so much better. However, the people are being released from the prison, so they're going back into the community. The people that were in Southern California went down for a party or weekend or whatever, and they're coming back. So the population is just moving the virus around. So we understand that this is not the best thing. And then you have someone like Governor Mike Parsons from Missouri. He's a Republican governor. And he's like, we're going to open our schools. We're going to put our kids back into school. Oh yeah, we understand they're going to get the virus. Yeah, they're going to get it. And they're probably going to take it home with them. They won't die though. How do you know? Right now in Texas, babies are getting coronavirus and they are getting very sick. They could die. So now it has gone from 65 and above to all ages. You have to pay attention. And we, the people, have to wake up. We have to put people in office who care more about us than they do their bragging rights. Because I'm sorry, all of you should be fighting to figure out what is the best thing for the citizens of the United States to combat the coronavirus. Because what's going to happen when the next one comes and the next one? Viruses are occurring all the time. If you don't have a good process in place, then every time something happens, it becomes a fire drill.
And my words and my feedback to that, and what I'd like to say is hashtag vote 2020. That's all I'm going to say.
Amen. Amen. I completely agree. So why don't you give us a labor of love update? Because I think she has the answer. She knows what happened, who she picked, and how it's going.
Yes, I'm going to tell you, yes. I watched the very last episode, and I thought she was going to pick Stuart. I really liked him because he was all... Right. But the next one was where the last show, previous show, the last one, was where she showed her guys. There's 2 guys left. There's Kyle and Stuart, and she showed them around I guess, Chicago, and she went on a one-on-one date with them. And it actually flipped, the tables turned, and she wasn't really sure if Stuart was the right one for her. She said on paper, he has everything that she wants. He's ready, he's stable, but she didn't really know if they really had that connection. So that was something holding her back. With Kyle, I mean, she had more of a connection, but she wasn't sure because he's kind of young, and she wasn't sure if he was at that stage where he found it a priority. He made it a priority. So there's pros and cons for both. But in the end, too bad she chose Kyle. And Stuart was not the one, unfortunately.
Aww.
I did do some Googling, as I like to Google afterwards. What's happened to them now? Kyle and Christy. And sadly to say, they're no longer together. So even though she picked him, they're no longer together. They dated for a few months and it just didn't work out. So there you have it, labor of love.
Yeah, she should have taken your advice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I really wish. And people have said, or she's not one to go back and regret or go back on her words. So she never did try and seek out Stuart again. But I think that she had chosen Stuart, to me, it would have worked out because he was ready right there and then. He was ready. And I think he had everything planned out. And, you know, I just think that he's an all-round, everything about him. He's very mature and very well-spoken. And, well, there you have it. That's what it is. So labor of love, that's what it is, everyone.
All right. So we're going to quickly talk about a few hot topics. As we shared with you last week, there was a tape that resurfaced, or a YouTube video. Someone was saying it's somewhere between 1 to 3 years old, where Nick Cannon had made some comments inappropriate. So we heard he's out. You know, everybody is letting him go. Well, circle around. Fox is not letting him go. He will continue to be the host of The Masked Singer. And Viacom wilding out. You know, you always have to be careful, people. So he created this, however, he doesn't own it. So he's now trying to negotiate with them to figure out how to keep his own property. So
that's his Wet and Wild show. Wild and Out show, not Wet and Wild. Wild and Out.
I knew what you meant.
Wet and Wild is something else. I don't know what.
Yes. That's a scene in another movie that I love, where the prince is playing undercover, and he's like, I want to go meet some wild and out girls. I always think that's true.
Okay.
As most of you know, there are some really wonderful people who are battling pancreatic cancer right now. Senator John Lewis, unfortunately, lost his life to pancreatic cancer. He has done some really amazing things. I didn't realize, I see him in the pictures all the time, standing next to Dr. Martin Luther King. I just didn't realize he was in his early 20s. He was just a baby standing for the rights of people to be allowed to be treated as human beings. So unfortunately, he lost his life to pancreatic cancer this week. And we have another gentleman that everybody knows and loves, Alex Trebek. He is the host of Jeopardy. He is the original host of Jeopardy. And he has been battling, and he did an interview with ABC, Good Morning America, with TJ Holmes. And he said some days are good days and some days are bad days. And for him, the hardest part is having his wife there, because he feels like he is just ruining her life because all she can do is take care of him. So of course she's, having conversations like, get over yourself. I'm here with you. We're going to do this together. So he is currently trying a new experience, and his numbers are going in the right way. And we just wish you good luck, and we hope that you will be the unusual person that doesn't succumb to this illness, because it's a horrible, horrible illness. I lost my favorite aunt on the planet, and I watched her become smaller and smaller, and then she couldn't eat, and then it's so debilitating. So, you know, Rosetta was sharing with me, she goes, there's lots of things that people can do when they're diagnosed with cancer. They don't have to just say, I'm done. There are other things you can do.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of things you can do. And me coming from, my specialty is chronic disease prevention and healing. And I tell people that when you are in a chronic disease state, a lot of times what happens is, as Gloria said, she saw her aunt get thinner and thinner. And the reason being is because they don't have much of an appetite. They lost their appetite. And what we really need to flood our bodies with when we're in a chronic disease state is the right nutrients in our body. And what's really hard, we need to get those fruits and veggies in our body as much as we can. And you could do that in many ways. You could juice. Juice is a great way to get those. Put in the whole fruit and get the fiber and try and get that down if you can't eat solid foods. But make sure that you're staying healthy. You can do there's a lot of things you can do without going on medications and things. And they do, as Hippocrates said, Hippocrates, I'm trying to get that right, said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And if you eat the right foods, it will be your medicine and heal you. Because a lot of times when your body is in a cancerous state, your body is acidic. Now we need to try and neutralize that and make it more alkaline. And how do we do that? Is by eating the right whole foods, fruits, veggies, berries, beans, legumes. We have to try and be really healthy and do as much as we can, but also getting out there in the sun, right? The sun, getting our vitamin D, because that's really helpful. And that boosts our immune system. And that just makes our mood very, very different. So that's one of the things you can do, but there are a lot of other things, but that's just one thing you can do.
Yes. So we will definitely keep their families in our thoughts and prayers. And we're also going to keep Kanye West and his family in our thoughts and prayers, because I believe, I can only hope that his heart is in the right place and there's something wrong, because his behavior is so erratic. He came out and he said, every person with a baby should get $1 million. And I'm like, so now you want us to overpopulate the planet by saying every person that has a baby is going to get $1 million.
And is that every baby, or is that just one baby per household?
He wasn't even specific, girl. He just said it's like, it's hard to raise a child. Well, everybody knows that. But I mean, it was just kind of illogical. And then I saw him trying to have a conversation, and he broke down. He started crying. And his wife did a post, and she's like, please, show my husband some compassion. And I just think when things like this happen, you have to put your arms around the person and you have to say, come on, baby, come on, and get him away from all of this. We know he has, medical issues that they confront him all the time. So he needs the love and support of people around him to shelter him.
And I'm just glad that he decided to postpone his running for presidency until 2024. So let's hope that in between now and then, he really gets the help he needs.
Yes, absolutely. So we're always talking about current events and things, life. Rosetta and I decided we're also going to start doing a little helpful hint. So my little helpful hint of the day is my makeup setting spray, the Ancient Elixir. Now, I use it to set my makeup, and I've been getting some really positive feedbacks from my customers that, Gloria, it helps keep the makeup on my face and off my mask, because I think masks are going to be around for a minute. So the Ancient Elixir is a combination of distilled water, silver, and copper. Silver is antifungal, antibacterial. Copper is also antibacterial, and it naturally increases the elasticity of the skin. So for me, I see my elixir as sort of like an extra level of protection because it's antifungal, antibacterial. So even if I'm somewhere and someone coughs, I mean, of course I lean away. However, I feel a little bit more protected because I have a little bit of silver on me. You know, like when I start to get a cold, the first thing I do is I start pumping colloidal silver. I put it in my water and I drink it. And my colds, when I do get one, process way, way faster. So my helpful hint is silver. Colloidal silver in water will help you. It keeps things moving. And the ancient elixir will help you to keep the makeup on your face and off your mask.
And just for people watching, where do you buy that colloidal silver?
I actually get it from all kinds of places. I bought it from Sprouts. They have a nice selection. Whole Foods. You can buy it online. Stay away from Amazon.com. Just because I think certain products you have to touch. I'm a brick and mortar girl. So I like to go pick it up, read the label, and okay, this is what I want. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been inside a Trader Joe's since March because the lines are still around the building. I'm not going to stand in line to go inside a Trader Joe's. So they used to. I don't know if they still carry it, but you can just, you know, Google colloidal silver, and it will help a lot.
Great. I love that. And yes, her elixir is amazing. You put it on, it refreshes your face, gives you that glow for the women. Women, remember, you want that glow on your face, right?
That's right. A healthy look.
Refreshing as well. Refreshing as well. Thank you, Gloria.
Yes. Yes. And do you want to share something today, or are we going to like just kind of let them know that you'll share something next week?
Well, do we have time? I can share something real quick. Yes.
As long as quick, we're about 35 minutes in.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to be real quick. I just want to, yes, because I'm all into health and wellness, as I'm a health coach, and my one tip is one way to boost your immune system. I'm going to be very quick on that. Boost your immune system, as I mentioned before, go out into the sun and you'll boost your immune system real quick. Great way to do that. You don't have to be in the heat. You just have to get some sunlight. It's great vitamin D. And as I mentioned before, for those people that are in cancerous state, it's a great way to boost your mood. Your mood will go up. And 15 minutes is all it takes. That's one of the ways. There are other ways that I can mention later on.
Yes. So definitely try and get a little sunshine. It will boost your whole mood. And we know that there are people also, due to the shelter in home, experiencing hardships related to depression and battering. And, you know, we hear you, we feel you, we're here. If there's anything Rosetta or I can do to help, just, you know, comment down below. And like Ellen always tells us, you know, as we start, we end, be kind to one another and listen to one another. If we can just be kind and listen and wear our mask, I know we will have a better world.
Yes, that's a great reminder. Again, she said it, be kind to one another and listen to one another. That's all we can ask. Kindness goes a long way.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So thank you all once again for tuning in.
Yeah, we really appreciate you watching our weekly chats. I'm going to remind you again, please hit the thumbs up button. We would like to know if you've been watching and you like it, so that we love doing these chats. So we just want to know if you love it as well as much as we do. And subscribe. But thank you, everyone. Yes. Please stay safe. Wear your masks. Please wear your masks. And till next week, we really enjoyed it. And remember to always keep smiling. Take care now. Stay positive. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.